Back here in Israel, after a heated discussion at their weekly cabinet meeting on Sunday, ministers voted in favor of forming a National Guard under the command of National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir. The controversial force is expected to comprise of 2,000 service members who will report directly to the far-right minister and will be tasked with tackling nationalist crime and terrorism and, quote, restoring governance where needed. According to Hebrew media reports, several ministers in the cabinet expressed opposition to the creation of the National Guard that will be funded at the expense of a major budget cut across ministries, but nevertheless voted in favor. And still with me is columnist of the Jewish News Syndicate, Ruthie Blum, and joining us is retired police commander Meyrav Lapidot, former spokesperson for the Israeli police and CEO of Lapidot Communications and Strategy. Ladies, this is a great panel of ladies. I love it. Meyrav, I want to start with you. How is the police reacting to this announcement?
Well, Commissioner Kobi Shabtai says in his own words, the National Guard will severely damage the police and warns us from dramatic circumstances. I think that when a police commissioner is stating such radical words in favor or in front of the minister that is responsible of the police, it says something.
Yeah. I want to ask you, how will this National Guard affect the Israeli police?
Well, it's a good question. If anybody would have known what is the National Guard, because usually and normally you go to administrative work and you say, why do you need the National Guard? What are the purposes of its establishment? And in what need does it serve? But nobody knows how to answer these questions because no administrative work has been done. This is the main problem. I don't think that Kobi Shabtai, the commissioner, would object it so severely if he had known what is going to be, what is the responsibilities, because for the time being, it's identical responsibilities. And this could make a lot of problems in the field for the police officers.
Absolutely. And I want to ask you, is there really a need for another authority to tackle terrorism? I mean, we know there's a lot of crime in the south, specifically in the Negev. Could the National Guard help at all?
It could, and it could not. Nobody knows. The problem is that in the same field should be only one commanding officer. Otherwise, it should affect the chain of command. But now, nobody knows who is going to be responsible of what. So it could help, but mainly the main threat is it could damage the chain of command and it could damage the efforts to bring peace and safety to the people of Israel.
Absolutely. And Ruthie, before we go to break, I want to ask you, how responsible is it to put more authority in the hands of Itamar Ben-Gvir, who's made very controversial moves since the beginning that he became minister, including announcing the launch of Operation Defensive Shield in East Jerusalem without even consulting with the defense ministry? I mean, how responsible is this?
First of all, I think it's sort of ironic that people are so worried about the extreme powers of Itamar Ben-Gvir when the Attorney General keeps clipping his wings. So far, I haven't seen him exercise power over anything, including the firing and not firing of the police commander in Tel Aviv. It wasn't even Itamar Ben-Gvir's decision to do that. It was actually Kobi Shabtai's, the police chief's, decision to do it, and he asked Ben-Gvir for his approval, and Ben-Gvir approved it, and then they were prevented from doing it. So that's first of all. But second of all, I just like to say that the National Guard, whether, I agree, we have no way of knowing whether it'll help or not, but what we do know is that the police have their hands so full with so much, it's not just crime and terrorism and everything, that I think a National Guard, if given the right, I don't know, the very specific job to tackle, for example, protection, then it could be useful.